In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, one God. Amen. My beloved, listen closely, not with your ears only, but with your spirit, with your soul, with the deepest part of who you are. For I have come to tell you something the world cannot teach you. I have come to proclaim a truth so mighty, so divine, so full of heaven's power that it will shake the chains of your heart if you let it. Hear me today. When God is about to help you, you will not be left in the dark. You will see signs, not from man, not from circumstance, but from the living hand of the Almighty. You see, we serve a God who does not slumber, a God who does not blink or turn away. His eyes are always on his people. His ears are open to their cry. The Bible says that his arm is not too short that it cannot save, nor his ear too dull that it cannot hear. And yet there are times, oh yes, there are times when we feel forgotten, abandoned, cast aside. We pray and hear silence. We seek and see no open door. We cry out and feel as if the heavens have turned to brass. But I tell you today in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ that just before God moves in your life, just before his breakthrough crashes in like a mighty rushing wind, you will see certain things. You will feel the tremble before the quake. You will sense the stillness before the storm of mercy. For God never comes without first preparing the way. He is a God of order, of signs, of purpose, and he does not operate in chaos. But God is about to help you when heaven is about to invade your earth. Something begins to shift in the atmosphere. Listen, the pressure you feel right now, the tension in your spirit, the battle in your mind, the tears you've been crying at midnight, those are not signs that God has forgotten you. No, they are signs that he is closer than you think. They are the contractions before your deliverance. They are the labor pains before the birth of the promise. When a woman is about to give birth, the pain increases, the contractions intensify, the pressure becomes unbearable, and it is then, just then, that the new life comes forth. Likewise, when God is about to help you, the enemy fights harder. Oh yes, he does. The devil will stir up trouble in your home. He will try to poison your thoughts. He will send confusion, distraction, even betrayal. Why? Because he senses what's coming. He sees the heavenly army marching in your direction. He hears the trumpet of God calling your name, and he is terrified. He is desperate to make you quit right before your deliverance. But I say to you, hold on. Don't let go now. You are too close to turn back. God's help often comes wrapped in discomfort. Did you hear me? I said God's help often comes in ways you didn't expect. You prayed for strength and he gave you trials to make you strong. You asked for faith and he led you through a storm. You cried for peace and he taught you to trust in the middle of the fire. He does not always calm the storm, my friend. Sometimes he calms you in the storm. Sometimes he lets the wind howl and the lightning flash just to show you that his hand is stronger than the storm itself. Do you remember Joseph? Before God helped Joseph, he was betrayed by his brothers, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, lied on, imprisoned, forgotten. But each of those trials was a sign that heaven was orchestrating something great, a sign that what the enemy meant for evil, God was turning for good. You see, Joseph's hardship was not proof of abandonment. It was the evidence of divine promotion in process. When God is about to help you, he often allows everything around you to fall apart, not to destroy you, but to remove the false supports you've been leaning on. He will strip away your idols. He will tear down your pride. He will expose what you trusted. more than him. Why? So that when he lifts you up, no one can say it was man's doing. So that when he comes through, there is no doubt in your mind that it was the Lord who made the way. Yes, friend, when God is about to help you, things may look worse before they look better. But that's the sign, that's the clue, that's the divine fingerprint. God does not rescue you from a situation, he rescues you in it. He walks into your fire like he did with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He joins you in the lion's den like he did with Daniel. He steps into the storm like he did with the disciples and says, "Peace, be still." And do you know what else happens when God is about to help you? People begin to leave. Oh, I know that hurts. I know how lonely it feels. But hear me, there are some people who cannot go where God is taking you. There are some relationships that must be severed so that your destiny can be born. God will prune your life so that you can bear more fruit. He will shake your tree so that dead branches fall off. He will remove the props so that your only support is him. And let me tell you something else. When God is about to help you, you will feel a holy restlessness. You won't be able to settle. The things that used to satisfy you won't satisfy you anymore. The places you used to go won't fit you anymore. The people you used to run with won't understand you anymore. Why? Because God is stirring your spirit. He is unsettling your comfort zone. He is calling you out of the boat so you can walk on water. You will begin to dream differently. You will begin to pray differently. You will feel a fire shut up in your bones. You will feel like something is coming, but you don't know what. That's the Spirit of God preparing you. That's the voice of the Lord saying, "Get ready, I'm about to move." And I declare to you today, if you don't give up, if you don't faint, if you hold on just a little longer, you will see it with your own eyes. God is not a man that he should lie. If he said he will help you, then help is coming. If he said he will deliver you, then deliverance is on the way. You don't need to figure it out. You just need to believe. You don't need to control the outcome. You just need to trust the one who holds the outcome in his hand. Because when God decides to help you, nothing and no one can stop him. He does not ask for permission. He does not check with your past. He does not consult your resume. He does not need man's approval. When God moves, he moves with power. When God helps, he helps with glory. And when God lifts you, he lifts you so high that people who once looked down on you will not even be able to recognize you. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are not defeated. You are not stuck. You are in transition. You are in preparation. You are in the holy hallway between the cry and the answer, between the seed and the harvest, between the pain and the promise. Don't despise this season. Don't curse the process, because when God is about to help you, he allows a breaking before the blessing. He allows a shaking, and you will know it's him. You will know not by the absence of trouble, but by the increase of grace. You will know because in the middle of your darkest night, there will be a light. In the middle of your despair, there will be a peace that doesn't make sense. In the middle of your lack, there will be provision you can't explain. That's how God helps, supernaturally, undeniably. When God is about to help you, your faith will come under fire like never before. I'm not talking about the kind of faith that's comfortable when the bills are paid, the job is secure, and your health is intact. I'm talking about the kind of faith that holds on when everything is falling apart. The kind of faith that stands still when all of hell is coming against you. The kind of faith that looks the devil in the eye and says, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. You see, real faith doesn't flourish in the sunlight. Real faith is forged in the fire. It is in the furnace of affliction that your faith is purified. And when God is about to help you, he allows that fire to burn a little hotter, not to destroy you, but to prepare you for the weight of the glory that's coming. Because you cannot carry divine breakthrough with weak faith. You cannot handle heaven's blessings with an untested spirit. God is not just interested in giving you help. He is interested in giving you strength. There is a holy war over your destiny, my friend. There is a battle in the unseen realm. Every time you kneel to pray, the enemy is not fighting you because of where you are. He is fighting you because of where you're going. He is attacking you not because you are weak, but because heaven has placed power inside you. There's a calling on your life that threatens the kingdom of darkness. There is a purpose in you that shakes hell itself. That's why the pressure has intensified. That's why you've been walking through a season that feels like silence. It's not the absence of God, it's the nearness of your help. You're in the tension of transition, and transitions are messy. Transitions are painful, but transitions are necessary. Before God brings you into the promised land, he has to bring Egypt out of you. Before he places the crown on your head, he has to teach you to carry the cross. Because the help God is sending is not temporary relief, it is eternal transformation. He's not just getting you out of the pit, he's preparing you to sit on the throne. He's not just calming your storm, he's teaching you how to command the winds in the future. Oh, don't you dare let your eyes fool you. Don't judge your future by what you see right now, for we walk by faith and not by sight. God is doing more behind the scenes than you could ever imagine. He is arranging divine connections. He is orchestrating supernatural timing. He is speaking your name in rooms you've never entered, to people you've never met. Your help is being crafted in the courts of heaven, forged in divine fire, and scheduled to arrive at the exact moment you need. Not early, not late, right on time. And let me tell you something that will shake you awake. When God is about to help you, he often isolates you. You will feel misunderstood. You will feel invisible. You will feel like your prayers are hitting the ceiling. But that isolation is divine. It is in the wilderness where God reveals himself. It is in the cave that the whisper of God becomes clear. It is in the solitary place that the oil begins to flow. God speaks loudest in the quiet. And sometimes he must remove the noise of the crowd so you can hear the whisper of his will. Do not despise the hidden seasons. Do not curse the cave. Do not run from the silence. That's where God does his deepest work. That's where he shifts your identity. That's where he breaks chains that no man can see. When God is about to help you, he doesn't build you on stages, he builds you in secret. He doesn't anoint you in palaces, he anoints you in the pasture like David. And when the time is right, he brings you forward. Not by man's invitation, but by divine appointment. Yes, there are signs that God is about to help you, but they are not always the signs you expect. They are not the applause of men or the open doors you dreamed of. Sometimes the sign is the closing of every door you thought would open. Sometimes it's the betrayal of a friend you trusted. Sometimes it's the breaking of your own strength so that you can finally lean on his. Vision movie, when he helps you, he does not care who does it. He deems it by that one stroke. By writing this to you, because God does not share his glory. When he helps you, he does it in a way that makes it unmistakably clear. This was the hand of the Lord, not the work of man. And when that help comes, when He sends help, it will be pressed down, shaken together, and running over. You won't just come out, you'll come out with power. You won't just be healed, you'll become a healer. You won't just be restored, you'll carry restoration for others. But hear me, beloved, before the help comes, there must be a surrender. Not partial, not convenient, total. God does not pour His power into vessels that are already full of pride, fear, or self-reliance. He is looking for empty jars. He is looking for hearts that say, not my will, but yours be done. He is drawn to the broken, the humble, the desperate, because those are the ones who know that if God doesn't show up, it's over. And that's the kind of faith He honors. That's the kind of posture He responds to. If you've been walking through darkness, don't quit now. If you've been fighting in the valley, don't lay down your sword. If the fire has been hotter, if the tears have been more frequent, if the silence has been deafening, rejoice. Yes, I said rejoice, because the enemy doesn't fight where there is no threat. He doesn't attack what doesn't matter. The intensity of your battle is a prophecy of your breakthrough. The size of your storm is a measure of the size of your help. Do you feel that stirring in your spirit right now? That's not emotion, that's not hype. That's the Spirit of the living God confirming to you that help is on the way, that something is shifting, that something is breaking, that something is rising in you that cannot be explained. Heaven is leaning in. Angels are being dispatched. The earth is groaning with anticipation because a child of God is about to step into their divine season. You are not forgotten in the shadows. You are not buried. You are planted. And the help that's coming will not just lift you out, it will establish you. It will validate the promises God made to you when no one else was listening. It will silence the voices that mocked your faith. It will bring glory to the name of the Lord through your life. You're not just being helped, you're being positioned for purpose. God's help is not survival, it's victory. He's not coming to bandage your wounds. He's coming to heal you from the inside out. He's not just paying your bills, He's teaching you to walk in abundance. He's not just saving your marriage, He's building it into a testimony of resurrection power. What you're walking through now is not the end of your story. It's the setting for God's glory to explode into your life like fire from heaven. Oh, I wish I could show you what's on the other side of this storm. I wish you could see what God is preparing in secret. But you must walk by faith. You must trust that even in the silence, God is still speaking. Even in the delay, God is still working. Even in the pain, God is still perfecting His will in you. Help is coming, child of God. It's closer than you think. And when it arrives, you will look back on every sleepless night, every tear-stained pillow, every lonely prayer, and you'll say, it was worth it. It was all worth it. When God is about to help you, He will test your loyalty, not because He doesn't know your heart, but because He wants you to know it. He wants you to see what you're made of. He wants you to discover what remains when everything else is stripped away. In the moments before divine assistance arrives, there comes a moment of decision. Will you trust Him when nothing makes sense? Will you believe Him when the report is bad? Will you follow Him when the path disappears beneath your feet? We love to talk about blessings, but we forget that before every blessing, there is a choice to be made. Abraham had to choose to leave everything behind and walk into a land he had never seen. Moses had to choose to return to the place of his greatest failure and face Pharaoh. Esther had to choose to risk her life for a people who didn't even know she was their hope. And Jesus Jesus chose the cross. Not because it was easy, not because it felt good, but because he trusted the will of the Father more than the comfort of the moment. And when you are standing on the edge of your breakthrough, God will ask you to choose to stand, to choose to obey. The help of God doesn't always look like help in the beginning. Sometimes it looks like loss. Sometimes it looks like rejection. Sometimes it looks like doors slamming in your face. But every closed door is a redirection. Every rejection is a setup for something greater. Every heartbreak is hollowing out a deeper place in you where His power can reside. What you think is God withholding from you may be God protecting you. He sees the end from the beginning. He knows what you don't. And sometimes the greatest help He can give you is to say no to what you thought you knew. There is a peculiar pain that comes just before heaven opens. It's the ache of knowing something is coming but not knowing when. It's the frustration of doing everything right and still seeing nothing change. But let me tell you this, the wait is part of the miracle. The wait strengthens your spirit. The wait sharpens your focus. God is not punishing you with delay. He is preparing you for destiny. Because when He moves, it will be so sudden, so swift, so supernatural that you will need every ounce of strength you gained in the waiting room just to carry the blessing. You see, God doesn't just want to get you out of your crisis. He wants to make you dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. That's why He doesn't rush the process. That's why He doesn't always answer on your timetable. Because He's not raising spoiled children. He's raising warriors. He's raising prophets. He's raising deliverers. He's raising men and women who will walk into enemy territory with authority and declare, "Thus saith the Lord." He's raising people who know how to stand when others fall, people who have scars but still sing, people who have been through the fire and didn't bow, didn't break, didn't burn. When God is about to help you, you will begin to see through spiritual eyes. The veil will begin to lift. The things that used to confuse you will start to make sense. You'll look back at the pain and see purpose. You'll look back at the loss and see how it cleared space for what was better. You'll understand why that person had to leave, why that job didn't work out, why that door never opened. God is not random. He is not careless. He is sovereign. And even when it looks like nothing is happening, something is happening. God is a master craftsman. He is building something eternal inside of you, something that cannot be shaken by opinion, cannot be stolen by the enemy, cannot be dimmed by the darkness of this world. And when the help of God arrives, it confirms what your spirit already knew, that you were never alone, that the silence wasn't abandonment, it was strategy. That the delay wasn't denial, it was divine alignment. That the fire wasn't punishment, it was preparation. When the devil throws everything at you, when the battles come back to back, when discouragement follows you like a shadow, when your mind is filled with lies, fear, confusion, that's not a sign to give up. That's a sign to dig in. That's when you lift your hands and say, "I still believe." That's when you fall on your knees and say, "God, even now I trust." Because faith in the fire is the kind of faith that moves the heart of God. I'm telling you, some of you are closer than you think. You're right on the verge. The night is almost over. The sky is beginning to shift. The enemy knows it. That's why he's trying to break you now. That's why your thoughts have been under attack. That's why you've been more weary than usual, more anxious than normal. He's trying to get you to surrender before the breakthrough arrives. Don't you give him that satisfaction. Don't you let the one who never created you determine your future. The same God who brought you this far is the God who will carry you the rest of the way. When God is about to help you, you will feel a holy boldness rise up inside of you, a divine courage that defies the facts, a confidence that doesn't come from your own strength, but from knowing that he who promised is faithful. That boldness is not arrogance, it is spiritual clarity. It is the voice of the Spirit within you saying, stand firm, you were made for this. The battle is not yours, it belongs to the Lord. There will be moments when you feel unqualified, moments when you look at your flaws, your failures, your past, and wonder why God would ever choose you. But let me remind you, he never called the qualified. He qualifies the call. He chose David when he was still a shepherd. He called Moses though he stuttered. He used Paul even with blood on his hands. And if he's calling you, it's not because of what you've done. It's because of who he is. So lift up your head, square your shoulders, set your eyes on the hills from where your help comes. It's coming, and it's coming with fire, with justice, with healing, with restoration, with recompense. What you lost will not compare to what is being returned. What the locust ate, God will restore. What the enemy stole, God will repay. What you thought was over, God is about to resurrect. This is not the time to quit. This is not the time to entertain doubt or dance with fear. This is the time to hold fast to the promise. This is the time to remind your soul of who your God is. He's not just the God of the mountaintop. He is the God of the blessing. He is the God who walks with you through the battle. And when he shows up in glory, in power, in fullness. Can you feel it? Can you sense the shift in the atmosphere? That's not emotion. It's the Spirit of God awakening your hope. That's not wishful thinking. It's divine anticipation. That's your spirit responding to the nearness of heaven's help. The same God who parted the Red Sea. The same God who rained manna from the sky. The same God who raised Lazarus from the dead. He is with you right now, and he has not changed. When God is about to help you, he often allows your strength to fail so that his power can be revealed. You see, we don't always recognize divine help when we're still leaning on human solutions. We don't cry out with urgency when we think we still have options. But when the walls close in, when the resources run dry, when the people you depended on disappear, that's when heaven leans in. That's when the Almighty says, now I can show you what I can do. He doesn't wait until you've got it all figured out. He waits until you've come to the end of yourself. Because it's only at the end of yourself that you can fully encounter the beginning of God. It's when you drop your hands in surrender that he lifts his mighty hand in intervention. It's when you finally say, I can't do this without you, that heaven responds with, watch what I will do for you. God is not moved by your perfection. He's moved by your surrender. He's not impressed with your resume of achievements. He is drawn to the broken heart, the contrite spirit, the person who says, Lord, if you don't move, I'm not going to make it. And in that moment, oh, in that holy moment, his help comes like a rushing wind. It doesn't tiptoe in, it breaks chains, it moves mountains. It silences the accuser and lifts you from the ashes with resurrection power. When God is about to help you, he will stir your spirit with unrest. You'll begin to feel the discomfort of a divine discontent. Things that used to satisfy you will suddenly feel hollow. Places you used to run to for comfort will lose their appeal. Relationships that were once safe will feel strange, and you'll wonder, what is happening to me? What's happening is that God is calling you higher. He's drawing you into a new dimension. He's separating you not to punish you, but to sanctify you. Because where He's taking you, not everyone can go. The help He is preparing for you requires a new level of consecration, a new depth of obedience, a greater clarity of purpose. He is stripping away what you thought you needed, so you can discover that He is all you've ever truly needed. His help is not a side project, it is the main event. It doesn't come to enhance your life, it comes to transform it. Listen to me, when heaven's help is near, your discernment must become sharp. Not everything that looks like help is from God. Not every opportunity is divine. The enemy can disguise himself as an angel of light. He can send counterfeits that mimic the real. He can open doors that lead to destruction. But the Spirit of God will give you wisdom. He will give you an inner knowing that says, this is not the path. Don't ignore that still small voice. Don't override it with logic or pressure. God's help comes with peace, not confusion. It comes with alignment, not compromise. And sometimes when God is about to help you, He'll ask you to do something radical. He'll ask you to step out when everything in you wants to stay safe. He'll ask you to give when you feel like you need to receive. He'll ask you to speak when fear tells you to be quiet. That's not God testing your nerves. That's God unlocking the flow of supernatural help through your obedience. Don't you remember what happened to Peter? He didn't walk on water until he stepped out of the boat. He didn't receive help until he took the risk. And that's how God moves. He meets you in the step of faith. He meets you in the unknown. He meets you when you dare to believe that the voice calling you is stronger than the wind and the waves. I'm speaking to some of you who are standing on the edge of obedience. You know what God told you, you feel it burning in your spirit, but fear has gripped your feet. Doubt has silenced your praise. You've been waiting for confirmation, but God has already spoken, and now He's waiting for your move. Because the help won't come in the boat. It comes when you walk toward Him on the impossible. It comes when you act on the word, not just admire it. And hear me, you will never need help if you're always playing it safe. If your life requires no faith, you will not see the fullness of God's power. But the moment you risk everything on His word, the moment you step out not knowing where your foot will land, that's when heaven backs you up. That's when the supernatural becomes your new normal. That's when miracles start chasing you down. There's a holy confidence rising in this hour. Not the confidence of the flesh, but the confidence of the Spirit. It is the knowing that says, my God is with me. It is the unshakable assurance that even if the whole world falls apart, the throne of God still stands. It is the confidence that fueled Daniel in the lion's den, that filled the hearts of the Hebrew boys in the fire, that gave Paul and Silas a song in the midnight prison, and it will fill you too. Because the same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead is living inside of you. That means you are not powerless, you are not alone, you are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are a child of the Most High God, and your help does not come from this world. Your help is not found in politics, in money, in people, or in position. Your help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. And when He moves, nothing can stop Him. Not a doctor's report, not a legal situation, not generational curses, not the mistakes of your past, not even death itself. The devil has tried to convince you that it's too late. that you've missed your moment, that you're too far gone, that the damage is too great. But I came to prophesy to you, God's help overrides every lie. His mercy rewrites every failure. His power restores what you thought was beyond repair, and His timing is never off. Some of you have been walking with tears no one sees, crying out in rooms where no one hears, lifting prayers in the dark when your heart was breaking. And you've wondered, God, did you forget me? But He has not forgotten you. He has not turned His face away. He has captured every tear, counted every cry, and recorded every groan. And the help that's coming will make it all make sense. The healing that's coming will touch more than your body. It will mend your soul. The provision that's coming will break cycles for generations. You must understand, when God helps, He doesn't just address the surface. He gets to the root. He doesn't just put a patch on your pain. He rewrites your story. He goes back to the trauma, the wound, the lie, the rejection, and He speaks truth where there was once torment. He brings peace where there was once chaos. And He calls you by a new name, redeemed, restored, chosen. That's the kind of help that's coming. Not a bandage breakthrough, not survival revival, not a lifeboat and ark, not a quick fix, a complete transformation. And when it comes, you won't be able to take credit for it. You won't be able to say, look what I did. No, you'll fall on your knees, tears streaming down your face, hands lifted high, and say, this was the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in my eyes. When God is about to help you, He doesn't just change your situation. He changes you in the process. Because real help from heaven doesn't leave you the same. It doesn't just deliver you from the fire, it delivers the fire into you. It sets your heart ablaze with a holy passion. You begin to pray with authority, walk with boldness, speak with conviction, not because you read it in a book, but because you've met the one who changes everything. You see, God's help doesn't merely relieve your pain, it refines your purpose. It doesn't just open doors, it gives you the strength to walk through them. And the moment that help begins to rise over your life, you will find yourself standing taller, speaking clearer, worshiping deeper. You won't have to announce that God is moving in your life. People will see it. They'll see the light in your eyes. They'll hear the fire in your voice. They'll sense the authority on your words. Because when heaven invades a person, there's a shift in the atmosphere around them. When help is near, your identity becomes clearer, the confusion starts to break, the fog lifts, the lies of the enemy that once wrapped around your mind like chains begin to snap. You realize you are not the product of your pain. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are not the label the world gave you. You are who God says you are. His beloved, His vessel, His child, His ambassador. And once you know who you are, no demon in hell can intimidate. That's why God allows the pressure. That's why He permits the trial. Because pressure produces clarity. Pressure forces out the faults. Pressure squeezes out the opinions of men, until all that remains is the truth of God's word. And when you come through the pressing, you don't walk the same. You walk with the limp like Jacob, but you also walk with a blessing. You walk with the memory that you wrestled with God and you survived. You made it through the dark night of the soul and you didn't lose your mind. You stood in the valley of dry bones and spoke life when everything around you was dead. Do you understand what that means? That means you're dangerous now. That means hell trembles when you wake up in the morning. That means the very places the enemy tried to destroy you in are the places God will use you to deliver others. You're not just a survivor, you're a weapon in the hands of God. And when His help comes, it will catapult you into purpose faster than you ever imagined. When the Spirit of God moves, He does not move timidly. He does not operate under limitation. He is not bound by your calendar, your resources, or your resume. When God says it's your time, it becomes your time. And everything that tried to delay you, distract you, or detour you will bow to His will. What took years to build can be dismantled in a day. And what seemed impossible can happen in a moment. That's the speed of grace. That's the force of divine intervention. God's help comes with justice, not man's version of justice. God's justice, the kind of justice that sets the captives free, the kind of justice that restores years stolen by addiction, betrayal, abuse, or shame. The kind of justice that makes the devil regret ever touching your life. When the Lord stretches out His hand, He doesn't just restore the years. You come back stronger, you come back wiser, you come back with spoils from the battle you thought would kill you. And don't miss this, when God is about to help you, He'll often send you a word before He sends the breakthrough. Because the word is the seed of the miracle. The word is what sustains you when the storm is raging. The word is what reminds you of who God is when fear knocks at your door. That's why the enemy works overtime to steal the word. Because if he can steal your revelation, he can stall your breakthrough. But when you hold on to the word, when you plant it deep in your soul, it becomes a sword in your hand. It becomes a lamp to your feet. It becomes the bridge between your wilderness and your promise. Some of you are sitting on a word that hasn't come to pass yet. You've been waiting, watching, wondering if God forgot, but He hasn't. That word is alive. That word is breathing. That word is moving behind the scenes. And when the time is right, it will come to pass, not by might, not by power, but by His Spirit. Heaven's help never shows up late. It shows up when it will bring Him the most glory. Don't underestimate what's about to unfold. Don't measure what's coming by what you've seen before. God is not recycling old miracles. He's writing a new story in your life, one the world has never read, one the enemy didn't see coming, one that will cause people to say, surely the Lord has done great things for them. This help will not just answer your prayer, it will exceed your expectation. It will leave you speechless, it will humble you, and it will give you a platform, not for fame, but for testimony. And hear this, when the help comes, don't forget the fire that forges it. Don't forget the nights you wept, the days you fasted, the hours you cried out. Let the pain produce compassion. Let the wilderness birth wisdom. Let the journey fuel your purpose. Because the help you received was never just for you, it was so you could help someone else. So you could turn around like Joseph did and say, what the enemy meant for evil, God meant for good to save many lives. You are being raised up for such a time as this. Not to sit silently in the back, not to blend into the background, but to stand in the fullness of who God made you to be, to speak life into dry places, to tear down altars built to fear and shame, to build again the ruins of generations past, to raise the banner of Jesus high in a world desperate for hope. So don't be surprised if the shaking continues. Don't be alarmed if the winds pick up. That's not destruction, it's transition. It's the final stretch before the miracle. It's the turbulence before the landing. Hold fast, stand firm, keep your eyes fixed, because the King of Glory is riding in with help in his wings. And when he arrives, everything changes. And when the help arrives, when God steps in with fire in his eyes and mercy in his hands, you'll realize something profound. The wait was a part of the wonder. The struggle wasn't wasted. The silence wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Every unanswered prayer, every delayed promise, every season of drought was forging a deeper hunger in you. Because God was not just preparing the breakthrough, he was preparing you to carry it. He was making sure that when the help came, it wouldn't crush you, it would crown you. You must understand this about God. He's not interested in fleeting victories. He's not trying to give you a temporary high. He's establishing a testimony that will stand for generations. And for that, he allows the deep work, the slow work, the painful work. He tears down your idols quietly, forcefully. He unearths the hidden motives. He challenges your pride, your assumptions, your self-reliance. Because what good is help if you're not humble enough to handle it? When God is about to help you, he will confront you first, not to condemn you, but to cleanse you. He will illuminate the dark corners of your heart. He will ask hard questions. He will demand total surrender. Why? Because his help comes with glory, and glory cannot rest where rebellion reigns. His help brings holiness. His help purifies as it promotes. He's not raising up celebrities. He is raising up servants who carry his spirit with reverence. And oh, when he finds a heart that is clean, a vessel that is empty, a soul that is yielded, what he will do with it cannot be measured. He will pour out blessings that eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. He will shake nations through a single obedient life. He will raise the lowly and confound the mighty. Because God does not measure potential the way we do. He does not choose the qualified, he qualifies the chosen. And if you are willing, truly willing, he will use your life as a stage for his glory. Some of you have been hidden, overlooked, passed by, misunderstood. But I came to tell you today, heaven has not overlooked you. God has had his eye on you the whole time. While others saw your weakness, God saw your worship. While others dismissed you, God was developing you. The help that's coming is not random, it's strategic. It's not shallow, it's sacred. He's about to pull you from the shadows and place you where your voice will be heard. Not for your fame. And yes, the help may look different than what you expected. It might not come wrapped in comfort. It might come through a person you never imagined. It might come through a closed door, not an open one. Because sometimes God helps us by saying no. Sometimes he helps us by removing what we thought we needed. Sometimes he helps us by allowing what breaks us. But no matter how it comes, when God helps, he leaves no doubt. You won't have to convince anyone that he stepped in. The evidence will speak. The fruit will testify. The transformation will be undeniable. The glory will be unmistakable. People will say, I don't know what happened to them, but something changed. And you'll smile because you know it was God. It was always God. He was there when the tears fell like rain. He was there when you thought no one noticed. He was there when you almost gave up. And now he's stepping in, not just to rescue but to restore. Not just to fix but to fulfill. Not just to lift you up but to send you out. Because the help you're receiving is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of a calling. And when that calling unfolds, walk in it with fire. Don't shrink back. Don't apologize for the anointing in your life. Don't second guess the authority God has placed in you. You've been through too much to play small now. You've cried too long to stay silent. You've fought too hard to go backward. Step into it with boldness. Step into it with purity. Step into it with trembling and with trust. Because the one who called you is faithful, and the one who helps you will never fail you. You were not made to merely survive. You were made to overcome. You were not created to exist in fear. You were created to move in power. The same God who parted the Red Sea, who fed 5,000, who healed the lepers and raised the dead, is the same God who lives in you. The same Spirit that hovered over the waters at creation is the same Spirit breathing life into your situation right now. So I ask you, will you believe again? Will you hope again? Will you trust Him with your future, your family, your finances, your calling, your past, your pain? Will you open your heart wide to the help He is sending, even if it doesn't look like what you asked for? Will you say yes to the stretching, to the refining, to the equipping, so that when the help arrives, you're ready to run with it? Because this is not the end. This is not defeat. This is the hinge on which your destiny turns. God is about to help you in a way that will mark you forever. You will look back on this moment and say, that was the day everything changed. You will carry stories that stir faith in others. You will release a sound that shakes the atmosphere. You will walk in power that confounds the wise, not because you're strong, but because you're surrendered. So now I say to you, rise up. Yes, rise up from the ashes of doubt. Rise up from the weight of fear. Rise up from the voices that told you you're not enough. Rise up from the lies of the enemy that tried to bury your calling beneath layers of regret. Rise up, child of God. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead lives in you. You're not defeated. You're not abandoned. You're not forgotten. You are chosen. You are called. You are equipped for such a time as this. The help of God is not a myth. It is not a fairy tale. It is not reserved for a few. It is for the hungry. It is for the brokenhearted. It is for the weary soul crying out in the night. If that's you, then take heart. Your cry has reached heaven. Your pain has moved the heart of your Father, and He is coming. Not with just enough to get you by, but with more than enough to lift you up, fill you, heal you, and send you forward in power. But when He comes, when that help touches your life, don't keep it to yourself. This world is desperate for light. This world is hungry for hope. They're looking for someone who has seen the fire, walk through the storm, and still stands with their eyes toward heaven. Be that someone. Be the voice that refuses to be silent. Be the hand that lifts others up. Be the testimony that reminds the broken that God still heals, still saves, still delivers. And if you're waiting, keep watching, keep pressing in. Don't let the delay make you doubt. Don't let the silence steal your praise. Heaven has heard, help is coming, but even now, before the clouds part, before the doors open, praise Him, worship Him, serve Him, because the greatest act of faith is not worship after the miracle, is worship in the waiting. God is not done with you. You may have stumbled, but you're not disqualified. You may have been crushed, but you are not destroyed. You may feel small, but the Spirit inside you is mighty. There is still a call on your life. There is still a fire in your bones. And there is still a God on the throne who loves you more than you can imagine. And He's about to show Himself strong in your life. So step forward, step out. Don't play it safe. Don't live another day beneath your calling. Let the help of God launch you into purpose. Let it awaken what's been sleeping inside of you. Let it push you into places where only faith can sustain you. And when the world asks how you made it, when they ask how you still have joy, how you still have peace, how you still have strength, point them to the one who stepped in when no one else could. Point them to the help that didn't come from this world. Point them to the King of glory. And never forget this: when God is about to help you, the impossible becomes possible, the broken becomes beautiful, and the ordinary becomes divine. Now go, walk in that truth, live in that fire. Let your life declare what your words cannot. The help of the Lord is here. Now move like it, speak like it, live like it, never turn back.